Hey, I'm Edoardo Grandi, and I'm going to explain to you an incredible event which happened last week, August 13th, where Tom Brady announced its first strategic investor group into a company called CardVaul. The group includes Aaron Judge, the New York Yankees captain Connor McDavid, the Edmonton Oilers captain Jay-Z, Dana White, the president of UFC, Jerry Cardinale, the founder of Redbird Capital, Egon Durban, Greg Mondre, Lee Fixel, Todd Graves, Wick Grousbeck, the co-owner of the Boston Celtics, John Henry, Linda Henry, the Kraft Group, Adam Edmonds, Shadow Lion, and Ben Ravitz, who is the business manager of Tom Brady. So these people are essentially investors into the company, and this is not a celebrity endorsement campaign. CardVault is a sports collectibles company, so it sells and facilitates sports trading cards, Pokemon and other trading cards, authenticated memorabilia, buying, selling, trading, grading submissions, live card breaks, digital commerce, and retail experiences. And this company was founded in 2020. But the really interesting part is that CardVault is trying to build a national sports collectibles platform. And the way that Tom Brady got involved is where the story gets interesting, because in February 2025, Tom Brady had acquired a 50% ownership stake in this company. But at that time, CardVault only had 3 stores. So the company was subsequently branded into CardVault by Tom Brady, because he wasn't simply paid to put his face on the company, but he became an actual owner of the company. So this is a shift from the old athlete model, which was company that pays the athlete and the athlete promotes the company. But the model of Brady was the athlete buys company equity, helps build the company grows, and the athlete's equity potentially becomes even more valuable. And it's a completely different economic relationship. So after Tom Brady invested, what happened? There's been incredible growth, because since Tom Brady joined the ownership group, it has gone from 3 stores to 17 locations in just over a year. That's more than a 5% increase in store count. And the long-term goal is even more aggressive, because they're aiming for more than 100 stores. And the company wants those stores in major destinations of sports and entertainment. So Boardroom also reported that the revenue has increased more than 400% over the past year for CardVault, although the company hasn't yet publicly disclosed the underlying revenue figures. So why at this stage does CardVault need another investor group? And this is where it is so important for you to understand the business strategy, because the new capital is supposed to be funding more stores, so they're targeting of more than 100 locations. The technology, the supply chain, the distribution, the digital e-commerce, the automated retail, the hiring, and the customer experience. So the real genius here of this event is that Tom Brady's not just raising money, because the story is much more bigger than CardVault. Most entrepreneurs raise capital from investors, but Brady is doing something different. He's bringing capital, so people who can write checks, distribution, so athletes who can introduce the brand to millions of fans, credibility, because people like Judge, McDavid, and Brady themselves, sports relationships, so to team owners, executives, together with business expertise from Silver Lake, Redbird, Addition, and Jay-Z and Shadow Lion. That's an extremely powerful combination. So why would these athletes invest? Because we don't know each investor's individual thesis, because their check sizes and ownership percentage were not disclosed, but strategically the opportunity makes sense. Because imagine Aaron Judge simply signs a sponsorship deal with a card company. He gets X million, then the campaign ends. But if he owns equity, CardVaul grows, stores expand, revenue grows, brand grows, distribution grows, company valuation potentially increases, and his equity potentially becomes more valuable. And that's the difference between income and ownership. And that is exactly why this story fits in the athlete wealth positioning that we talk about every single Monday. So the bigger lesson here is the model shifting from the old to the new model, and that attention creates leverage, leverage creates ownership, and that's what athlete wealth is about.